does that say? 10 hours, 10 minutes, 11 minutes. It is Sunday, March 14th, 10 a.m. So, but I think the daylight savings kicked in today, so spring forward. So it's technically 9 a.m. So here, I'm just gonna put on my bathrobe. I'm gonna tell you about my dreams. It's gonna be very exciting. All right, so it's 10 a.m., but it's really 9 a.m. And I went to bed at 10:44 a.m. and I put on a podcast. Sorry, let me just put this up here for a minute. Put on a podcast for about 50 minutes, I think. I don't even remember. Was it the Michael Knowles show? Yeah, so, and I don't remember the end. So let's say I was bed by 11:30, or asleep by 11:30. But then I know I woke up at, I looked at the clock and it was 7, but that means it was 6 a.m. So 6 hours, maybe 6.5 hours. Eventually I fell back asleep, and then I left, I don't know, so maybe 3 more hours, 2 more hours, I don't know. Although I saw a headline yesterday saying, we used to think we needed 8 hours sleep. That's not true, but I haven't read the article yet. So, feeling very stressed now. And I've decided, I just had an idea, and this might help you as well. You know, I wish all my life I'd kept a diary of every day so that I, you know, just little things so I can remember, oh, right, I met that person, or I did this. Because a lot of these things disappear from your mind. And now, you know, we take digital photos of most things, but still it's nice to have a diary of your thoughts. So, but maybe there's things that, you know, maybe there's things you want to share on YouTube like I do, but maybe there's things you don't want to share. Look at all the little birds. Very pretty. Oh, bye, bird. So maybe you could make a private video diary as well, like something that maybe you don't want to reveal right now, or maybe you never want to, but if you ever want to go back and watch it, you can be like, oh, those were my real thoughts on that day. And it's kind of like typing a diary that, you know, maybe nobody will see, but maybe recording a video is a bit easier, because you just have to talk to it for a couple of minutes. You don't have to sit there and type and change your words, and you can actually hear your thoughts and see your face. Maybe that's, you know, imagine Da Vinci's diary or whatever, some famous diary. If we could see them talking into the camera, that would be interesting. Although it'd be nice to have typing as well so you can read it. I don't know. So that's an idea. So I was thinking maybe I'll do this one that's for public consumption, and then afterwards I'll be like, oh, there's some things that maybe are like too personal that I don't want to share yet. But I'll, you know, I'll record those and I'll call it a private diary, and then I'll have that as well. So that's just an idea for you. So for now, this is the public one, even though I'm pretty much sharing everything with you guys anyways, because I like being open and honest, and people tell me that it makes them feel good because I have the same concerns that they do. So my dreams last night, I can't remember it a lot. I remember there was something to do with my dad yelling again. And it's just, you know, his personalities sometimes. I'm learning to understand that that's just somehow how he talks, and it's kind of forceful, or, you know, he also doesn't exercise, so it's probably, I think your brain gets a bit foggy if you're not taking care of your health and stuff. But yeah, it was sort of, I don't know. I just remember him yelling and then me yelling back, and it was like, because I do want him to exercise and take care of himself and whatever. And also we have fights about the thermostat and stuff. But then, okay, so in real life, my sister messaged me the other day, a couple days ago, and she's like, I went for breakfast with Dad, and he told me about his face. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, oh, ask Mom. So my sister is a bit mentally challenged, and she has Parkinson's and stuff, and so she, you know, doesn't trust herself probably to explain the thing, and she probably doesn't understand what was said too. And I'm like, what happened to his face? I started worrying that, has he had a stroke? And like, I don't know, but nobody tells me these things because my family doesn't really trust me for things. And then, so finally, yesterday at the dinner table, because I don't normally look at his face, or my mom, I don't look at anybody's faces. People always have said to me that I don't look them in the eye. I guess I feel very I don't know, it feels very personal and stuff. And also it makes me sad, like to look at people's faces and realize, oh my gosh, they're getting older and stuff. So I usually don't look, but I looked over at the dinner table and there's some kind of rash on his face. Sorry, I just saw the squirrel running around. He was at my little treat. And I'm like, what is that rash? I don't know what the health problem is. So then in my dream, I dreamt that I had a rash on my face too. And I was like, it's all over here and here and here. And I'm like, So that was part of my dream. And then I think I woke up at 6 or whatever. And then the rest of the dream, I was walking down a sidewalk, sort of like along some cafes, and I saw Kevin Spacey sitting at one of the cafes. I was like, oh, and I wanted to yell, hey, Kevin, you're in town. He didn't hear me, and I thought, I could go up to him and say, listen, can I interview you or whatever? But then I thought, well, that's bothering him. But then I thought, well, that's my chance, though. If he's in Toronto, I guess that's where I was in my dream. I'm like, why I'm going to blow it, but whatever. And then I went back to this hotel, and I think I was like kind of a spy or something. Like there was a mission, and I was supposed to open up a thing and open up my gun. And I opened it up, but it was like the silencer end, but then on the other end, it was just like a foam, almost like the handle for like a rowing machine or something. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this gun? And then, I don't know, I see that Larry David's ex-wife was in town or something, and I thought, I should send her a tweet DM and say, hey, are you in town? Do you want to hang out? But then I thought maybe I shouldn't. I don't know, I guess that's about all of it. I had some kind of mission I was supposed to accomplish, but I don't know, and I was in some little hotel room and whatever. And then I just woke up and I was just lying here, very, very, very anxious. And part of my brain, for a second, I'm able to go, you know what? You're overthinking things. It's like, it's fine. You get up, you go for a walk, you're safe, you have loved ones, it's no worries, everybody's got their things. So for a second I can do that, and then I go back to, oh God, no, like my niece's birthday's this year, and I'm going to have missed, or next week, and I'm going to have missed a year of her life, and what if I lose my parents, and can anybody ever be happy, and why didn't I have kids 20 years ago, like all this stuff. It just spirals and piles onto me. And then I'm like, but you can't, all you can do is what you can do today. I can go through my emails, I can start working on a project, but then I'm like, what even if I do get famous? Because I was listening to, I think when I woke up at 6, I started listening to a podcast, the Andrew Klavan Show, just for half an hour. I like to listen to the podcast so that my brain stops thinking for a minute, and I just hear about other people's problems and realize there's a big world out there. And he was talking about the Meghan Markle interview and playing clips of that, and he was saying the left and the right tend to dismiss, or he says the right, but also the left, they tend to dismiss the troubles of rich people. They say, they're privileged, they're rich, but he says it doesn't matter how much money you have, you can't buy away the pain of being human. Everybody's going to have pain. Like Prince Harry, his mom was killed when he was young, and it doesn't matter how rich you are. Like that's devastating. And obviously he was hoping to get something from Meghan, like some kind of comfort or whatever. And then Meghan, were her parents divorced? Yeah, and he's like, yeah, so for any kid, that's going to blow up their world. And for Oprah, we don't have the class. They had the class system in England, so but we don't have that here. So we don't look at Oprah and go, oh, you don't deserve class. But but in the U.S., the left is sort of using race for their socialism to sort of define things. Anyways, that was sort of a separate thing. But he was saying that, yeah, I've never seen so many rich people sit there together, like Oprah and Prince Harry and Meghan. But he's like, they still can't escape the pain of being human. We all experience pain. So that was making me think, Jesus, like even if I somehow could get lots of money, you still can't get away from the pain. But then I'm like, who's happy then? Is anybody happy? Like Meghan was talking about how, she was afraid, I don't want to say it to get demonetized on YouTube, but, you can read up what she was afraid of. And it just makes me wonder, like, who's happy? Like, all these people, I think I told you in my story last night, all these friends from high school and university are messaging me saying they're sad, they're lonely, they're not happy with their job. I'm like, I don't know. There's got to be somebody's happy. I guess, like, Dean Graziosi, he's, like, the life coach, he's happy. I don't know, I was watching Grant Cardone, he's 62, he's a big real estate mogul, millionaire, guru guy, and he was hosting a party with 50 Cent came to give it at a bar in Miami. I'm like, okay, so he can still host parties at a bar in Miami. That's fun, right? I just wonder, because all my life, everything sort of in my head still is sort of predicated on being young. It's like I can go to a hotel, I can meet up with the team, like the staff, and go for a jog in the morning. But at 50, at 55, like, is that something that's kind of fun and cute? Or is that, it's not even, so I guess maybe 7 years ago I went to Miami. I was still young enough to sort of, anyways, I don't know, see this stuff spins, but then everybody's got their stuff, everybody's got their issues. All you can do is work on what you do today. Everybody's getting up this morning and working on their thing. So I thought maybe I'll go for a walk. I'll return this dollar store orange juice that was open when I bought it. And it's $1.50. Maybe they'll give me a new juice. And just get some fresh air, a little exercise. And my aunt's coming over at 2 o'clock. And I'll just try to do some work before then. So that's my dream summary and my thoughts for the morning. Please comment below with your thoughts. I love to hear from you.